Greetings, Internet people. Raining Ramsey here. How are y'all doing today? Oh, wait, did you notice that? Did you catch it? If not, I'll do it again. What's up? Oh yeah, you liking that? I'm loving that. I got that off today. My wrist feels so incredibly feeble. Like, I think it's really funny. Like, this wrist I can turn over at a 90-degree angle. And when I try to do the same with this one, that is literally as far as I can get it to go right now. I can't bend it past like 35, 40 degrees without feeling extreme amounts of pain right there. And that's apparently normal. It's going to be stiff and sore for a while, I was informed today. But so, yay, no more casts. I'm finally unencumbered. I have a goofy little wrist brace thing. Makes me look like I have carpal tunnel. Don't make fun of my wrist brace. I have one of those that I got to wear for work, and anytime that I'm in public where I could get jostled, because apparently a good shot in the wrong direction will re-break my wrist at this point, because the tendons and everything are so tight. But anyway, that's really not even on the subject. I was just extremely pleased about that. So, as you see from the title, we're doing a rant request, and what we're talking about today is movie remakes. And I normally don't make videos this late in the evening, but a strange series of coincidence led me to go ahead and decide to do that, because my wife and I went to the grocery store today, and there's a Redbox video rental kiosk at our grocery store, and I was browsing through it while she was checking out, and I found that there was the new Alice in Wonderland movie was in there, and I knew that she was excited about seeing that, and that I was kind of intrigued, kind of not. I was really on the fence about wanting to see it, so we went ahead and we got that, and we went and watched that with, and during and after dinner we watched that movie, and then I sat down on my computer and opened up my YouTube account and saw someone, it was, his username is, I believe it's Elyk249, ELYK249, had sent me a rant request asking me to do a rant about unnecessary movie remakes, and in his message, he actually mentioned the Alice in Wonderland movie, which I thought this whole thing is way too darn coincidental not to go ahead and press forward with this. So, the first thing I want to point out is, and if you've heard this before, and it's not new information to you, then just bear with me, and if you haven't heard this or understand this, then you need to kind of wrap your mind around this, because a lot of people are bashing on the new Alice in Wonderland movie for being yet another remake. It's not a fucking remake, people. It's a sequel. You have to actually watch the movie to understand that. But if you watch the movie, you will understand that it is not a remake. It is a sequel. Well, then why didn't they put Alice in Wonderland 2 on there? Well, they didn't have to, okay? Watch the fucking movie. I'm not even saying it's a good movie. I have to be honest, I found it to be one of the most predictable pieces of cinematography I've seen in quite a while. I actually annoyed the living shit out of my wife while watching this by calling every scene, going, oh, this is going to happen, oh, that's going to happen, oh, this is going to happen. Now, I don't normally do that except for when a movie presents itself as extremely predictable. Once again, that's not exactly the point that I'm on about here. So, Alice in Wonderland is not a remake. It is a sequel. It is just kind of a poorly entitled sequel, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, so I got to thinking about it, though, and there's, I've noticed that there seems to be a lot more movies being remade lately. But then when I really got to thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I don't really think there are more movies being remade. I think that we're just getting old enough that we're noticing movies from our childhood, or movies that predate our childhood very shortly, that we watched while we were children, we are noticed are being remade, because I believe it's on Wikipedia. There is actually an extensive list of just about every film that's ever been remade, and then it actually gives you the title of the original movie. In most cases it's the same, in some cases it's not, and this might get on your nerves just a little bit, but really quickly, I have to do this. I copied down a list, not a real huge list, but I copied down a list of the movies that have been remade in like the last 20 years, and I tried to grab onto ones that people might not realize were remakes. And there's a point behind this, and I'll get to that in a minute. I want you to listen to this list though, and listen for movies that you really enjoyed that you did not know were remakes. And I'm going to get you with the first one. For most people, unless you're a serious cinema buff, this one's going to throw you. The Departed. is a remake. It is a remake of Infernal Affairs, which is, I believe, either a Japanese series or a movie. As we all know, The Ring was a remake. Dawn of the Dead, Ocean's 11, The Count of Monte Cristo, The Manchurian Candidate, The 3:10 to Yuma, War of the Worlds, The Day the Earth Stood Still, The Ring, Man on Fire, King Kong, The Hulk, Daredevil, The Punisher, actually remade twice. Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi, was a remake. Father of the Bride, Insomnia, 12 Monkeys, Dangerous Liaisons, The Longest Yard, The Italian Job, All the King's Men's, Anastasia, Annie, Assault on Precinct 13, yeah, that's a remake. The Blob, The Bourne Identity, yes, also a remake. I love the movie anyway. Cape Fear, Cheaper by the Dozen, Chicago, Cruel Intentions was a remake of Dangerous Liaisons. Death Race was a remake of Death Race 2000, Fahrenheit 451, Father of the Bride, The Firm, The Fog, Gone in 60 Seconds, yes, that was a remake. The Haunting, The Hills Have Eyes, remake. And the sequel was actually a remake of the sequel of the original. I Am Legend is a remake of two films, The Omega Man and The Last Man on Earth, which are both based on the same novel entitled I Am Legend. And My Bloody Valentine. Now, that's only half... and that was just picking and choosing names off the list that were on the first half of the list. It's only up into the M's. And what the point of me basically bringing that up to you is that it should have revealed at least one movie that you did not know that was a remake and enjoyed. So it kind of gets on me a little bit when people start bashing a remake just because it's a remake. And they don't even give the film a chance to be entertaining. But, on the other side of that exact same coin, it is a little ridiculous that in the year, I want to say this year, there are 75 different movie projects that are slated to be made or started or initiated, and they're all fucking remakes. Just go on Google and search 75 remakes in 2010, and you will find websites upon websites talking about this very subject. So, my personal opinion is honestly split. That I can find the remakes are absolutely freaking annoying sometimes because, like me, I'm a huge fan of the Punisher series. I love the comic books. I love what Garth Ennis was able to do to the character when he took him over in the Welcome Back Frank series and the whole, the Max series Punisher, the Punisher Born. It's all great. I love it. But what's really pissing me off is that I have three first movies. I've got Dolph fucking Lundgren naked in the sewers. I don't know why that's the only scene that ever sticks in my memory. I guess it's scarred. It's burned in there. Dolph Lundgren naked in the sewers. Please shoot me! And then you have the Thomas Jane movie, which was kind of a combination of 9 different fucking comic book threads, which was a good movie. They could have taken that and run and made a sequel. It wasn't quite as hardcore as the comics were, but it was fun to watch. But they didn't go ahead and make a sequel. They went ahead and they remade it again with Ray Stevenson, which who really did a great job, the best Punisher to date. But once again, they took 4 or 5 different storylines from 4 or 5 different fucking comic series and mashed them all together. And now I'm sitting here waiting, okay, so are we going to see a 4th Punisher 1? But anyway, so some remaking really aggravates me, even when it's a series I really like, because I want a continuation of the story, not just a rehashing of it. But then again, there are other remakes where the original movie, if you go out and find it, is so fucking bad that you're just like, wow, that could have been a great story, but look at this pile of steaming shit that they gave us. So sometimes the remakes seem warranted, like the one that everybody's talking about right now is The Karate Kid, and I gotta be honest that I'm completely and totally on the fence about this one, and I think it was the Archfiend who made a video about it, I'm pretty sure it was him, that he'd said part of the appeal of the movie was the fact that Mr. Miyagi seemed so damned harmless. And Jackie Chan just can't seem harmless because we all know what that badass mofo can do. So the mystique of Mr. Miyagi for me is going to be completely and totally just taken apart. And how can you remake The Karate Kid without a Mr. Miyagi character? So I don't know. Excuse me. It's something I'm just really split right down the middle on when it comes to these kind of things. So this is getting kind of long, and I want to know what you think about remakes. Sometimes I think they're great. Sometimes I think they're horrible. I don't really have an extremely decisive opinion on this one. But I wanted to talk about it because, like I said at the very beginning of the video, the very strange string of coincidence that just happened today with me watching the movie, and so. Alrighty then, so that's pretty much all I have to say. That I think some movie remakes are good when they're done for the right reasons, but when they just want to remake a movie to make some fucking cash, it usually turns out like absolute and utter garbage when there's nothing wrong with the original. So I'm ranting Ramsey. That was a pretty long rant. Let me know what you think.
Hey, did you get all that, man?